Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new stream. Today we will continue on the sketches that we made last week. We will stream for about an hour or so. I think that's for now that's the amount of time that we sort of that's doable for me at this point in time. So yeah, let's quickly get going. Let's start by unlocking this layer and lowering the opacity of the line drawing and locking it back, because we don't want to focus too much on the lines anymore. We want the focus to be on the rest of the image, of course. Let's merge all of this. I think I'm gonna paint. Yeah, I'm gonna paint in a new layer. So just so that we can sort of see if we make any progression whatsoever. I like to sort of keep my new paint in a new layer for that purpose, so that you can turn on the layer on and off, and then you can see, oh, I actually made some progress here. So yeah. This is probably going on for will be going on for quite a while. This painting, we'll see. I didn't stream yesterday. Maybe I will stream on Friday this week, but I'm not sure because I got a busy weekend, so I have to see. Otherwise, we will just continue next week. I think it's for me now. It's more important to just stream. Maybe not necessarily the amount that I stream. Of course, I kind of want to go to a full schedule at some point with the channel, but I have to sort of figure out what else I want to do with the channel. If I just want to make it digital art, or if I want to add some more stuff to it. I don't know. I kind of want to make it into a sort of a general channel about art, but also about interesting technology, science, maybe stuff like that. Well, I'm interested in all that stuff, and I kind of want to do something with it, but I don't know yet whether I want to sort of bet all on this channel, or if I want to create a different channel for that. See me using sort of the background elements of the original image to create some more detail in the so yeah, I'm not sure yet what I want to do with that. But of course it's gonna be art. Definitely art. But we may add some other stuff in the future, just to expand our stuff. I also like gaming, but I'm not sure if I sort of can combine these. I think there's a lot of overlap as well. Well, for the people that watch as well. That's at least for me. I'm really interested in art, but I also like games, and I think that's one of the reasons I got it. Nah, I don't know. I used to draw a lot before I sort of discovered games, but I discovered the fantasy world, and it serves as a big inspiration for art. So I think there's a bit of overlap there. And I think especially for the images that I create, which are usually fantasy or sci-fi, I think there's quite a big overlap between the art and sort of games and stuff like that. So maybe we can combine it in sort of a way. Maybe use games to create art in creative games. For instance, Minecraft. I quite like Minecraft, just for the sheer amount of creativity you can sort of deploy in the game. But I also like strategy games. So I've had broad spectrum of interest. Also like engineering, science, sorts of stuff. So yeah, there is. I kind of want to make not necessarily this channel. I want to do more uh, with my time than just spend it on art. Not that art is just a hobby or something. I think it's a really important part of my life, but I don't want it to be the only part of my life. And I think for this kind of art, there is this sort of an as I said before, there's a lot of overlap with games and stuff like that, but also with technology, especially if you want to go with if you want to paint sci-fi stuff. It helps if you sort of can figure out if you're interested in how the Apollo moon lander works, for instance. Podcast or something like that would also be very interesting for me. I think, and then not just about a single subject. For instance, you have people that do political podcasts or art podcasts or games, stuff like that. And then you have Joe Rogan. I mean, come on, he's a legend. Let's be honest. He talks about everything. He has a lot of really interesting guests on all sorts of different fields. I mean, he has Elon Musk, comedians, also game creators, psychiatrists, all sorts of stuff, politicians. So that's really something that I would be interested in the future, to sort of create something like that. A platform where we sort of an exploration platform, explore skills and knowledge, something like that. I don't know. I'm just sort of trying to gather my thoughts and well, for me, it's always been the case that I have a very broad interest. The struggle that I go through constantly is how to sort of incorporate that into my life in a balanced way, and because I hear around all the time, I hear around me, you cannot focus on too many things. You have to focus on one thing to be successful in life, and I think that we definitely went to a sort of a specialist society where specialists really can thrive and can have a really big impact. But I think I'd never be able to become a specialist in a certain field. I think I have the skill set and the intelligence to become very good at a lot of in a lot of fields, in certain fields, but an expert, no, because I will always be interested in other things. And it's not just curiosity; it's something that I really wanted to do and and explore more. It's not like, oh, really like accounting and I'm gonna be an accountant for the rest of my life, and I spent my hobby with restoring classic cars, for instance. So some people are like that. They can do one job and they find fulfillment in hobby, and that's okay with them. And in a certain way, I envy those people because they definitely know what they want to do and what they can do, and they go for it. But on the other hand, I think that's, for me, that would be a very shallow life. I couldn't do that. Can't, because I want to explore the world, and not necessarily in a travel sense. Although I wouldn't mind traveling to interesting places, but a waterfall would be nice, maybe. I'm rambling again. I really like this. I really should start a podcast of some sort, because I just really like to ramble and think about all sorts of subjects, just to let my mind wander off and think about it and try to be reasonably smart and think it through. Yeah, I would really like that. So maybe I to start to figure out how to do that, because that's sort of my biggest issue in figuring out how can I sort of combine all these interests into sort of a certain package that sort of works for me, because now it's all sort of uh, loose cannons. Is that the correct term? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know how to name it. Sort of all these loose things, and I kind of want to put it all, not necessarily all, but a lot of it. I understand maybe that cannot put everything in that single package, but I think you can put a lot of stuff in that package. I think, for instance, the thing that I said with gaming and art, I think there's a lot of gamers who can who really appreciate art, um, and vice versa. Um, and just generally, a lot of people that are on the internet have a quite a broad interest as well, and I kind of want to also serve those people that of course you can get your information from different places if you want to, um, but it would also be nice, I think, that you could go to a single place for a lot of different um, information, for instance, art, games, maybe a bit of technology. I don't know. I'm just rambling about, and I don't know if it makes any sense. But just sort of trying to figure out how can I sort of, yeah, as I said before, how can I sort of package my all my interests into put them all sort of in a package for a bunch of my interests, and use that to well, of course for myself, but also for other people. But I think you shouldn't sort of forget about what you want. And I think I always focus on what other people thought that could fit me. Sort of that countless of times people have said to me, ah, that's something you should try. You should do that. That's really something for you. You would be really good at it. And yeah, but if you're good at something, it doesn't really mean that you enjoy doing it. You should really start to create websites. You can build a website. You do something with web design. No, I don't want to do anything with the web design. I learned how to create a website for myself, and I really enjoyed the process. But that's just generally like to learn new stuff, and I just was curious about it, and I did, and then it was okay. That's it. Done. Next thing. Work in that field for me? Please no. But that's sort of how I sort of spent my life. Uh, Trying to listen to those people and listen to what they had to say without thinking whether it was good for me. And yeah, now I'm at a point that I have to figure out, what do I want? What can I do? What would make me happy? And that's tough because I never really spend any time thinking about that, because I always listened to other people and thought I had to do what they said was good for me. Um, and they do it with good intentions. I mean, if people give advice, that it's always from comes from a good place. So that's an extra difficulty, I think, that people are willing to help you and really try to help you, but they don't really necessarily know how, and they don't necessarily what's best for you. They think they know, but yeah, that's another rambling subject. I really should sort of start to work on that podcast. It's definitely something I want to do. I'm not sure if I want to do it on this channel or if I want to do it in my native language, in Dutch or English. Um, Dutch is probably better because um, some things can get lost in translation. You say it a certain way and then doesn't really sort of convey the message all that well, because you don't really know how to use the proper expression. I my English is decent, I guess, but on difficult subjects, it can be quite difficult to sort of be clear about what you mean. But yeah, that's enough rambling. No, it's never enough rambling. I can go on and on and on about this, about all sorts of stuff. But yeah, that's definitely. Oops, no, I don't want to have a new brush. That's definitely something I want to sort of explore, the possibilities of sort of incorporating more of my interests into sort of a single. I don't know if it's good to sort of put it in a single channel. That's definitely um, something I want to figure out. On the other hand, I currently have 340 something subscribers, 43 I guess, at the moment of this stream. So it's not like I have 100,000 subscribers and I suddenly switch gears and then my channel dies. I mean, even if my channel would die, so to speak, um, so be it. Well, so be it. I mean, I wouldn't say the channel is dead anyway. That's not really the case. How do I express myself properly here? I think having a sort of small channel really gives you a lot of freedom in what to do and to experiment with your channel. And I'm probably too afraid. That's I think that's the better explanation. I'm too afraid to sort of experiment with my channel and to do different things than just art. So I keep getting back to this same old recipe that kind of works, kind of doesn't. And I think I really should start experimenting with the channel and see where it brings me. Maybe do some gaming stuff. Maybe that doesn't work, and then we can quit it. Some maybe do some sort of rambling session on it. I don't know. Try a sort of a podcast to sort of set it up somehow. And then, I mean, this is sort of the perfect place to experiment with it because I'm not too big yet. I say yet because I expect to grow, but I mean, come on, we all can have dreams. I can have dreams. I hope to grow, of course. So yeah, I definitely hope I will grow to a bigger size. But yeah, I think this is sort of more to sort of convince myself than convince you or anyone else. It's more to convince myself that it's okay to experiment with this channel, and then shouldn't have to put everything on a different channel if it is a sort of a slightly different subject. Because I think there's a lot of combinations that I can do. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to, for instance, do a survival, a Minecraft survival playthrough on the channel, because I think that's quite maybe quite far away from it. But talking about a certain technology or viewing a thing or whatever, that might be that might fit the channel. So I'm sort of gonna think about that. And then yeah, hopefully in the coming months we will start to experiment a lot more with different stuff on the channel. Because I keep coming back to YouTube. I do other stuff as well, but I keep coming back to it, and I just enjoy making content. Well, the main thing is I enjoy talking, and thinking about stuff, and YouTube is a really good place for it, and that's, I think, why a podcast, for instance, would be really cool, because that's all talking and thinking about stuff. So that's right up my alley. It's not too much editing involved. I mean, I don't hate editing, but I'm not really good at it, and I often rush it, I guess. So I probably should sometimes be more a little bit should edit a little bit better. But it also depends on the source material, of course. I should just get better at the whole video making stuff. But yeah, there probably will be some changes on the channel. Nothing major. We will just keep the art stuff going, but I'm gonna experiment with other stuff. I kind of wanna. I'm gonna play games this afternoon. I'm gonna stream. I'm planning on streaming it, but I'm seriously considering streaming it on this channel, and I'm not sure whether that's a good idea yet. I can see a place, maybe, but where it might be interesting. But in the meantime, we're sort of trying to figure out how this tree thingy floating forest kind of thing works. was currently exploring the idea of a big, really big tree trunk with an elevated platform. Sort of the canopy of the tree is this flat pancake type surface on which there is a forest, and then the city is sort of situated here on the trunk. As you can see here, we really have to expand this, and then the trunk is sort of hollow in the middle, and this is sort of the inside of the trunk. I hope that we can sort of, by painting a little bit more, we can sort of show that. I'm a bit rusty because I haven't painted all summer, almost all summer. So yeah, this is well, I started last week again, of course. So this is really it's a bit of a struggle, but just gonna take it slow. We're gonna take our time and just grind through the painting. Just with YouTube, it's also a grind that we need to do and that we want to do. So yeah, enough rambling about the channel. Hopefully, I keep thinking about it, so I keep rambling about it. I hope you don't mind. But yeah, if you're watching this and you hear me, I will also post a video maybe later. I don't know if it can be this week. I probably should try that to get a video out as soon as possible, and sort of with a question. Is there anything you'd like to see different on the channel? Or maybe I should just go for it and see what it does. I mean, if I were to stream Minecraft this afternoon and I suddenly lose 30 subscribers, I know that was a bad idea, and I shouldn't do that anymore. If I gain a couple of subscribers, it might be a good idea, and I should continue. If things stays as it is, it doesn't really bring anything yet. I might continue with it as well. But the thing is, we in all the content we want some sort of technology, creativity, things like that. We want that to be a part of the content. So this is just going to be the hopefully this is going to be a channel with all the stuff that I like. I like to share sort of with guys, with other people. So. I think it's good to do everything on a single channel. Because I'm sure there are like-minded people. I cannot be the only one that's interested in games and art and writing and stories and stuff like that. There's got to be others, right? So if I like it, there's probably other people that like it as well. So. I should be careful to not make this a mushroom type thingy. So I probably have to make some nice looking branches later. How long have I been streaming for? Half an hour, so it's sort of halfway through. We're gonna check what we did so far. If we get rid of the line drawing, you can see whether stuff is working, yes or no. I think stuff is starting to work. We definitely need clearer borders here. We need to work a little bit with the lasso tool. I think in terms of contrast, this piece is quite decent. Maybe I think I'm gonna go without the line drawing from now, because if I keep going with it, I'm gonna continue to rely too much on it. So rely on it is not necessarily the right words. I'm gonna use it too much, sort of, to uh, um, the details in the line drawing to as details for the painting, which I can't do because once I turn off that line drawing, they're gone. So I'm gonna have to paint everything from now on. I'm not sure if I'm really happy with this brush. Gonna grab a different one. Go with this one for now. 80 might be a harsh, but or it's the has opacity settings. This one. Let's go for this one. Need a somewhat harder brush to get some better lines here. I really need to slow down a little bit. I'm, as you guys probably know, I'm a really I am an ADD painter. I don't have the patience to down the lines correctly sometimes. Most of the time, I should probably say, and that can really hurt my work here. So I would like to have sort of hanging things to be raise this because um I kind of want to have them in a certain design. It's hanging buildings goes for here. Sort of a Japanese style architecture. Maybe slightly different. Sort of a basket hanging from the here. So we're gonna try to fill that in. Basket type things. Really should design more instead of just putting down random shapes. And then grab a color here, something like that. So these are quite big, the hanging things there. Yeah, I really should do more stuff like that. The gate. Sort of. It's the gate. Tree. Okay, but not. We don't want it to be too dark. And yeah, let's see what we want here. We want some sort of watchtower type buildings in front of it. We don't want to not everyone and their mother should be able to enter this. It's got to be guarded some way. And maybe we can make this sort of kind of tree trunky as well. And maybe this is part of the gate. Like that. There's probably hanging here as well. Side. The buildings go on to go side there. It's not just a big gaping hole and then sort of a corridor. Probably should bring in some of those reds here as well. Too dark. Starting to like this more and more. This is sort of the good. I think it is quite brain intensive, but I like this phase in which you figure out and design stuff. I cannot always get my mind into this state, sort of to work like this. Actually, this, but when it works, I really like it. Maybe we should try different colored roofs as well. Maybe they sort of different colors, yellow, red, some blues there as well. It's starting to look like a city, especially this side. We're gonna have to work on this side a little bit. these little basket type balconies. Um, yeah, I'm starting to like it. Well, it's starting to sort of look like the ID that I had in mind. That's really important. Sometimes you have, well, that's in my case at least. Sometimes I have this ID and I just cannot translate it to an image. Somehow just doesn't work. That's really annoying. That's really frustrating when that happens. So I'm really happy that it kind of works now. Translation is working. Of course, we don't want this edge to be this sort of straight. There's all sorts of stuff and probably stuff hanging over the edge as well. Mhm. So yeah, so far I'm really really starting to enjoy this. We sort of through the tree here. We don't really necessarily have to do that. Because we're gonna fill this in with homes as well. Like this area, how this is sort of turning out. I'm gonna done a few brush strokes and see if I can use those as a sort of happy accidents. Mistakes, don't you bloody worry. As the Australian Bob Ross would say. So, yeah. May be a little bit too dark, but also need some lighter tones in there. Separate the, I don't know, to sort of use as wood. Um, this is gonna take forever. Oh, it's not really true, but this is what we did in 44 minutes. Did the most on this one. I think I'm gonna continue on this one for a while. Um, maybe do a little bit on this one, but you can definitely see we worked on this one after we got rid of the line drawing. You can see that's definitely showable compared to the bottom and the top one, because without a line drawing, it's quite hard to see what's going on with those. Especially the bottom one, but the bottom one is even with the line drawing, it's hard to see what's going on. That definitely needs some work. So yeah, now it's just about adding roofs and things. I don't want to add just sloped roofs. I also kind of want to have curved roofs. Maybe some walkways across the entire thing. Because people have to sort of traverse these things in some way or another. Some hanging bridges, like so. There's another one coming there. So yeah, I think that will add to the idea that it is a living city. Just have a bunch of houses hanging, then I think it's easy to say, all right, whatever. Once there is, you can see these things, then you can, oh, they're walking from here to there. Because you can think, ah, they probably have a way internally to traverse, yes, but having these walkways, or at least indications of walkways, will probably help. But yeah, the idea is that this sort of tree trunk is going to be full of houses, so that's going to take a while to. I'm not going to paint out each individual home or house or thingy, but we're going to have suggestion of houses as well. We're going to detail a couple of them. Try to do it in such a way that you can see that it's houses. Yeah. Too much contrast. We want enough. But under here, there's houses as well. Or in a way, flat type houses. Yeah, I think it's starting to become something. Um, Definitely need to work with the lasso tool here and there to start to sort of separate some of them a little bit more from the rest. This middle bit is probably a little bit further away than the bottom bit, so gonna let's immediately start to try that. Uh, let's this. So definitely paintings that are gonna take some time. Gonna be busy with them for a while. Um, Soft brush, and especially because And what color do we want to use? We don't want to do it. I think overall the front bit can be a little bit darker. But let's try to select even more, darken that a little bit. Sort of watchtower type things. Let's get rid of a little bit as well. Wait, I thought I said shift, adding right. Accidentally press alt. Oh, of course, I have everything selected. Except for that. Such a go. Now we're selecting the right stuff. And there's probably some housing here as well. Select. Here. I haven't really figured out a faster way to sort of populate this thing with houses. That's the problem with all these small houses rather than making it a one big sort of structure, or a lot smaller. I probably so it's one big house, then it would scale would be a lot smaller, of course. Then it would probably be a lot faster to make. But the lasso tool is a great tool to sort of quickly select stuff. Yeah, I think I should keep using this to get more stuff going. Since here, should worry about the shapes a little bit more, I think, so we don't want them to be the same. Still, these towers don't really separate from the background that a lot. This thing needs a lot of work. It's just, let's face it. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more brave. Select that. This whole area. We definitely want to go darker. Not all of it. Um, separate this properly. Because this is also quite light, so let's grab that. Darker. It's probably a little bit better. At least they stand out a lot more. And there's probably a little bit more architecture I have to put around those, but let's see. This is what we had. Finally starts to look like something. You can sort of at least see different shapes now, and see what, almost see what it is supposed to be. So that's good, I think. I kind of want to have sort of this gate side. This probably should have houses as well, because we have this big crack. I think this is a natural crack in the tree they use as an entrance. Let's make it a little bit smaller. I think it's a little bit big. Have to be this big. Should be a little bit braver with my highlights and stuff as well, because should be brave in general. Afraid times. Yeah, and then there is a let's enlarge this a little bit, because I have this built here. So I don't know what this is. Maybe this is a big building for I don't know, trade or whatever, so that they can keep certain people out of the city. You can't really go into the city. I don't know. Just gonna keep going until we like it. And if that isn't gonna happen, then we will try to redo it. Try different ID. I really like some of them, not necessarily so close to each other. Sometimes the occasional sort of towery. I think I really need the red, sort of make it more interesting. And there's probably a path. Just make it go straight. Alright, we're already at an hour. So I'm gonna end the stream soon. I think the middle one is starting to get somewhere. It definitely needs a couple more hours of work. But yeah, now you can sort of see that there are all sorts of buildings. Probably gonna go with a couple of more larger scale ones, just to fill up a little bit more space. And if they're all really tiny, it's a little bit harder to see detail. But we also want smaller ones so that you can really see that this thing is really huge. And of course, we definitely have to work a lot on the top one and the bottom one. The bottom one is going to be quite tough, I think, to make. But we're going to try it anyway. For now, thank you for watching. I will be back later this week or next week. We're going to keep those streams fairly short for now. And in the meantime, we'll also figure out what else we're going to do with the channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next one. Bye!